Hello, hello. Well, good morning, y'all. It is a beautiful day here in the Southwest Desert. So it rained last night, and it's nice and cool out here. The sun is up. I think it's going to be a good day for planting, hopefully. So I have about half of my Sugar Daddy pea plants out here. The other half I'm going to save inside in case these do kind of die off. But let me go ahead and switch around here. So we got our planter box that's been built, seed oiled for protection, filled, and then we have this trellis here that we've just used the string. You don't need a real strong trellis for peas, so they should be just fine. But we're going to come along here in just a moment and drop all those little Sugar Daddy pea plants in there. And yeah, so we got a lot to get going here for spring. A little bit behind, but so before we get all those in, this is all medicinal herbs going in here. Peach tree is looking great, and I don't know if you can tell, but man, that it's budding and getting ready to bloom. Garlic is all popping up beautifully. We'll say hi to Nikki, I guess. Hey, Nikki. And people in comments are wanting to see much more of the quail, so we'll just walk in here. I haven't given them their food or morning breakfast or anything yet. There are these little guys in here hanging out. Looks like we're looking pretty good. So give them their breakfast here, and things going this morning. How are you ladies doing? You're getting a drink of water, and we're getting angry. We'll open up your little window here. They want to be let out. Say, let us out, let us out. Alright. Hang on. I'll let you guys roam around. So I haven't seeded or built up any of this on my back 40. My back 40 feet here. So this is probably the back 20. Anywho, I'm going to let these chickens out so they can roam around. There's some of that red winter wheat. So first year doing that, and I'm doing it really just to learn how to grow it. So we've overwintered that. And that looks like that's all coming in well too. Alright, ladies. There you go. Go have your morning fun and hang out in the sun. Well, I got pea plants to plant. Alright, so we'll head back over there, get those pea plants planted, and then it is daylight savings, and so it is early. We are all without sleep from illness anyways, so hopefully Farmer Casey will join us this morning, and we'll have a little bit of tea with that as well. Oh, let's try to open up the... We'll go ahead and open up the... So I got just these little latches here to keep the windows open. There we go, that one goes on there. That one actually hooks to the door. And so I need to clean the solar panel off. I was going to be putting another solar panel in, but I got work today, unfortunately. So let's get to those pea plants, huh, Nikki? This garlic is just looking so good. And we got a whole nother tub of it over on the other side, but we won't go over there right now. I hope you guys are enjoying those little birdie sounds like I am. Here in the urban environment, it's kind of rare that we get these quieter moments. I'm assuming with daylight savings and all, they're probably still asleep and stuff. There's not a lot of traffic and things going on. So what I got here this morning is these Sugar Daddy peas. And they are a cooler weather crop. So here in New Mexico, they are one I need to get in right away. And we want to plant these about 2 inches apart, and you can do 2 rows. I'm just going to do one here because I'm going to end up putting a row of radishes right along the front there. So I'm going to take these out, and these little cardboard cutouts are real cool. I can just tear these right off, and I'll just stick them in the ground like that. Peas really don't like their roots being disturbed, so sometimes they're hard to transplant and don't do well. If these die off, I will direct so. But I'm also going to put them under a heavier layer of the straw. So this soil is good soil. And we'll just put these down in here like that. And the supervisor's wanting in, so I'm going to let him in here, let him supervise what we're doing, and we'll speed this up and get them all planted. All right, Mr. Supervisor, come on. Sorry, I'm not letting you on the job. There you go. You can supervise, buddy. These are good size to transplant, about 2-3 inches. These are a little bit higher. You want to get them out of the inside before they start trying to grab onto everything. So I always plant my plants in several areas. One main area, another area as well, just in case something happens to one. I haven't lost my entire crop. So this is an 8-foot by 1.5-foot bed. I'll do the same size actually in my back garden with some more peas. They are cool weather crops, so here in New Mexico they don't last very long. So I will grow them. They harvest in about 65 days, and so I'll harvest everything, and then once it dies off, we'll let some of those seeds harden and dry for seed saving, and then we'll remove all these and put our next crop in here. Radishes are a good thing to put along front because they grow really fast, and you can kind of keep planting those as long as it's cool. And then in the heat of summer, something else will need to go in here. Radishes are also a good companion plant for the peas, as are carrots and things like that. I know, I think it's Pentball over at Pentball Preparedness. He grows his peas in a gutter, a big rain gutter, and then it does a trench and just slides them all out in it. And I thought that was an excellent idea. Why you gotta do the things. You know what works best. You learn a little bit every year. That looks excellent. I don't know why I didn't do that the whole time. You just take the whole little row. Already spaced right. So that's the peas. We'll do an update on them later, but I do want to show you something else in the garden before we get back. So this is one of the plants that's overwintered. It's an onion, so they do overwinter. Let me adjust them here. There we go. Okay, so this is actually Egyptian walking onions. So these are neat. They'll grow underground like that with a bulb in the winter. But these stalks, what they'll do that's different is they grow up really tall, and they grow little bulbs on the end of the stalk, and so that creates weight, and so they bend and fall over and land on the ground, and that bulb grows, creates another plant, and it perpetuates that down the line. That's why they're called walking onions, Egyptian walking onions. And so these are great plants to have. It's the second year I have them in the garden now. Alright, so we'll get back to the future Matt there, and to everyone that's been watching me plant these little pea plants, and we'll enjoy some tea. What a beautiful day it is out here, though. I just can't get enough of being outside. Man, that does look good. Welcome if you know me. Hello, welcome back. If you don't, I am Matt Grant Homestead here. So this is Garden Chat with Matt, and thanks for enjoying my short little video while I get to some work here. Put my coffee down there. And before we hop into chat, although I do see a few people here, hello CDB, and we got Spice of Life family. I think I saw Renegade in here, and let me check real quick. Yep, Renegade Black Sheep. Good morning, Mr. Landfill and RG. Good morning, y'all. The usual suspects. It is good to see you guys. I got a lot of my chores done here. Oh, and my wife was saying, yep, Solo likes to roll around in that compost. He supervises that well. So we're going to get into the chat, but I did notice while I was walking around that these quails are pretty much out of food. They're going to be eating. One thing with the quails is they can get pretty aggressive, and if they run out of food or water, they will do so. I did have one injured yesterday. They decided to kind of turn on. But he's over in the injured bay, and we'll go take a peek at him. You're hungry. They're doing good. They did get aggressive. Sometimes they just do that. Quail are pretty aggressive. So we have one in the injured bay. He's in there. She's in there. Hopefully she'll do all right. Hey, well, there's a few things I want to show in the garden. It is a nice, beautiful day, so I'm excited to. What are you doing there, Nikki? You are a supervisor this morning? It's a beautiful day, so I'm excited to be out here in the garden. I hope that the sound and video quality are okay. I don't get the best reception out here. Let me get this adjusted. Hopefully you can hear me just fine. Let me need to mess with my camera. Sorry. There we go. Okay. All right. I could live in your backyard. I pretty much do. I could live in it too. So, not a huge, long stream this morning. It looks like you guys probably already know my spiel about everyone's kind of been sick this week, and so we actually don't have Farmer Casey on. He wasn't feeling all that great, and then of course daylight savings kind of really kicked his butt. I hope you got some sleep there, RG. But yeah, everyone's kind of sleepy. Being outside here in the urban environment, of course, probably will hear things I cannot control behind me. So listen to some of that. But I had a couple things going on. You saw I planted the pea plants got planted. That was the first thing actually planted in the garden so far. They are a good cool weather crop. So broccoli, cabbage will be going in next. Root vegetables that can go in with cool are actually going to be going in now or in the next few days, like radishes and carrots. And again, I use deep taste for those, and I'll show that in a video. Nice yard, and it's quiet this morning in the background. Oh, good. Yeah, kind of quiet. I think everyone's sleeping in for the most part. So I enjoy being out here. I really do. I can't wait till all the plants get going. I have a lot of cleanup and infrastructure build, so now it's crunch time for sure. Potatoes need to get in the ground as well. But I also showed broccoli and cabbage. Not broccoli, cabbage. So I did show those Egyptian walking onions, I believe, in my little video. So those are coming back. We have a lot of crops that overwintered. A lot of the garlic, the red winter wheat, onions. So that's all popping up. Some of the lettuces here actually survived too under all that straw. They're popping up. And I don't have a lot planned this morning. Just kind of sitting here, wanted to say good morning, enjoy the morning, and chat with everyone. In a moment here, I will get up, take a stroll through the yard, and we'll just take a quick peek at kind of what's going on where um, before I hop off. But it is so good to see. Oh, yeah, that's okay. It's early. It's so good to see everyone. It looks like we got about 6 people in here, so that is awesome. I didn't expect that this morning. Actually, I kind of thought no one would be on, to be honest. Uh, Being that time is a little different for everyone. Now, RG, I guess you don't have that time change, or you do? You're in Arizona. I didn't think they did it out there. I know here in New Mexico, uh, they are. I think this is the last year they're doing it. I know they keep talking about getting rid of it, but I'm not sure. Mr. Landfill, I would try broccoli cabbage. Sound yummy. It does sound yummy. I would try it as well. Do the hens go back in the coop on their own at night? Hey, that's a great question. Actually, one I thought about doing a video on here with considering ducks. So yeah, the chickens go back in their coop at night as long as they can get back to it. As soon as it starts getting dark or the weather's bad, if they see a hawk overhead or something, they'll go back to the coop. Chickens are really easy. They're a lot like cats. As long as they have clean water, some food, and a place to get out of the elements, a nest, a coop, my dog's having an asthma attack. Like he gets them sometimes, but they will put themselves to bed. They just head back up in the door. It looks really funny actually when the sun starts going down. They line up and pretty much single file go up into the coop like that and put themselves to bed. Ducks, on the other hand, from what I understand, don't. So if we do get those, that's you have to come out and kind of make them go to their coop. So the ducks will stay with the chickens. Yeah, part of building. They need a coop expansion anyways. The chickens do. But instead of cutting it across, this one's lifted 2 feet off the ground and just building it extended like that. There's a couple other reasons as well, but I decided to do the extension on the ground. The ducks like to nest ground level, and so they'll live with the chickens just fine. I will need to still build some infrastructure before we get them, and that would be they need to have access to water. So I need to build a small little pond. I plan on doing a cool little one that can drain out, kind of easy, cheap one. But they'll need access to that, so they will need to go across the back where I'm housing Nikki right now to be able to get to that pond. So I have a few little things I need to tweak with my build and all. But I'm extremely excited to do that. There's going to be a lot to do this summer, a lot to show. I just got to be on top of recording. We like broccolini. Yep. Yeah, so my compost pond plan. So what I want to do is build the ground up about 2.5 feet and put a retaining wall and kind of hold all that back in there, and then build a little pond on top with a drain in the bottom and a valve that drains out into the compost. And so ducks can be really messy, from what I understand. It can be time consuming or difficult, frustrating to clean their little pond. So that way I can just open the valve, spray it out, and drain it out right into the compost to help water that compost as well. Awesome. So let's see. I'm going to open up a few minutes here to if anyone has any questions or other questions or anything you'd like to say this morning, I can address that. And then if not, after a few minutes here, I'm going to hop up. We'll do a little stroll. Just what's going on real quick. Is there something so beautiful? There is something so beautiful and satisfying in the garden with pets close to nature. Yep, it is. I think the way y'all intended, right? Living that y'all life, y'all. So come here, Solo. My supervisor's down here, but you can't see him from the camera angle. So I'm gonna call him up. Come on, supervisor. You want to say hello to everyone? He's been on all the projects this morning. He always is. There are hawks. Yeah, so our only predators out here really is, of course, the neighborhood cats are the biggest one. We do have a lot of hawks out here that come out from the mesa and things I see flying overhead. Um, I haven't had any of them get the chickens. If you have a rooster, that will keep them away from the chickens. My chickens are pretty mean and bold. They'll try and fight them. So I don't think the hawks really come down around here. Um, if I had the quail out, it'd be a bigger concern, I think. But they hang around. That's really the only predators. I do know coyotes would be an issue if we get lambs. That's something I'm thinking about already. Of course, in my builds with the dogs and just in practice in general to um, gain practice, I guess. When I build the coop and things, I actually have chicken wire that goes down and out a little bit and down and out a few inches there all around, so nothing can really dig under. Chickens can't dig out either. Chickens will dig. They will dig under things. Cool. Oh, is that just a few minutes? So I'm gonna grab the camera here and we'll take a little stroll and I'll talk for a few minutes here. Still there? All right, cool. Chewy's out here. We'll go find him in a bit. He's around. But okay, cool. So we got the coop. I got this little gate I built, building some other gates around. But where are these guys? They're all over here in the corner. They're mad because they want to be let into the compost, but I'm not letting them over there right now. So they're hanging out. We'll go check out their coop in a minute. Here is the red winter wheat that's all coming up. Now this year I grew it as an experiment and to gain some skill on how to grow red winter wheat or wheat in general. So this is the overwinter wheat. So that did overwinter well. It's growing in. I'm kind of just really observing and checking it out. And so that way when I have fields of wheat, hopefully I know what I'm doing a little bit better there. What do you want, Betty? They want in their little door here, I think. I don't know why, but they do. So we'll open that up and they can get in there. Oh, it's stuck. Okay. There we go. All right, there you go. You guys can get back in that way too. So here was some medicinal herbs, and these are the ones I can't remember the name of ever, popping up here. In here, some of the wheat seed, I think, blew in here, so there's some of that. There's also onion. It's supposed to be onion beds. That's popping. They're wondering what I'm doing. That's popping up. Behind me here are the grapes. So we got about 17 pounds of of Concord grapes on here last year. These vines are about 4 years old, I believe now, and they are doing well. So those are all pruned up and ready to start popping up. And this is over in my back 40 foot of my property. You following? That's a new compost I'm starting. Over here is where I grow a whole lot of cucumbers and Jerusalem artichokes and sunchokes or things like that. It's a mess because throughout the winter I've been letting birds in here to get any bugs or anything. So the little stink bugs are always a problem that everyone's always trying to get rid of. And this is kind of where I think they've nested, and they will hibernate or nest. And so I've been letting the chickens in here to hopefully get any of that. Solo is fighting Nikki. Solo, cut it out. If you can see him over there. He's getting in a fight with Nikki. They like to play together. So Nikki, everyone always comments on my videos. It's so sad that the chickens don't like Nikki and that they've rejected her. And this is going to be part of the chicken run I'm extending. Anyways, I'm going to give them the whole reign of the back wall because that's where bugs like to hang out. So everyone says it's so sad that Nikki was, rejected by the chickens, the flock. And it is. But she hangs out. Her new flock is me and the dogs and the family. So it's not too big of a problem. They like to try and dig these grapevines up. That's why you'll see all those rocks along there. All right, let's go in and check out your coop a little bit. It's been a little bit since I've really done a tour, and I'm excited as spring and summer roll on to do it's been really windy, and I've been doing work, so there's boards and things laying around. With the expansion. So it'll be is their door will be here, and they'll be able to come out, of course, the ducks as well, and I'm going to have them be able to go back through that way in here. So I'm working on getting their watering system all hooked back up and starting things for spring. There's a lot to do, and I'm excited. I'm going to grow these grapevines all the way around. There'll be vines all up here, This year I'm really trying to go vertical and growing to cut out, oh, there's Nikki, to cut out a lot of the urban environment. Nikki, how are you this morning? Are you getting in a fight with Mr. Supervisor over here? Hello? Leave Nikki alone. All right. And then, so then coming over here, of course, we got the quail shack I'm working on. Hopefully getting that second solar panel. I do have a couple other solar panels. And I actually wanted to mention, hey, this might be an investment tip now. I'm not a financial advisor at all, so don't take this as financial advice. But a little tip. Solar panels right now are going up in price, but they're not that bad. They've actually in a little bit of a dip from what I've found. And I kind of think these are only going to go up in price, whether it be inflation or demand. And so just maybe a little tip or something I'm going to do is grab a couple extra of these now and throw them in the back for resale later. I think I can and possibly do that. Now, of course, you don't want to gouge the market or be unfair to people. That is never my goal. I also want to mention I do talk about selling things a lot, and so that comes from wanting to diversify where my income comes from. And actually, Papa Pepper said a thing that made a lot of sense to me. I heard last night, and that was he's trying to start more home-based businesses, basically, so that way he can be home more with his family and not have to rely on going out for that income. So I am doing some of that. However, like with Farmer Casey's teas, that is going to be going in big part to teach him things. So a good portion of that is going to be going to tithe, to charity, and then to savings for him to teach him about entrepreneurship and those different things. So all with purpose, not ever with a greedy intent or wanting to gouge anyone. I also want to give people good prices on the products that I have a hard time finding sometimes. And so, of course, we came in here and fed the quail already. So we're just working on finishing it up, sealing it up. You can see there's still gaps and things. Getting that door a little more functional. And de-winterizing it. And of course, we got our med bay and our coal waiting box, and our med bay boxes there. Back in here's where that pond will go. And our composts. That's Solo's favorite. Nikki, and it is dirty back here. Like I said, it's been windy, so you'll see trash likes to blow around here in New Mexico. Watering system I'm putting in here. This will actually tap in through into the quail shack. Nikki has been living back here right now, but this will be cut across with a small half wall and then access through the door out here so that the birds can go back and forth. Nikki will be moving. She's going to get a different home here on the property, but in a different area. So we will leave that and come around and show a few things. I'm showing the ground a lot just because, there's some parts I don't want to show. Garlic I've showed a couple times, but that is doing excellent. This bed hasn't been planted yet, but we're going to be doing that. This is a tree we pruned. And so that's coming back, and you can see that's budding and doing really well. The family's out here, but I don't know if they want to be on camera. So. Oh, okay, here we go. Oh, you want to say it off camera? Tell everyone good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, guys. Oh, and I know I see some comments there. Months, your garden will be an oasis. Yep. Didgeridoo plants. We're getting those snake gourds planted. Yep. And so we'll have all these pots filled. Of course, over here where I'm not showing a lot, all planters, Farmer Casey's area, and potatoes will be there. There is my peas. And then we'll have radishes along the front and carrots in these, as well as in other places. I do like to spread my crops all around. Good morning there, Mr. Landfill. It is great to see you. And so it is a mess. Everything's blown around. Everything's being torn up so I can build and do all those. See, it's a sage plant that's coming back. Strawberries hopefully will do well. They're all kind of coming back in. They're lavender. These are all just popping up voluntarily. A couple of plants I did want to show. We have a lot of herbs that grow in here. Now we are going to use this, a lot of mint and oregano and rosemary. However, most of the herbs that will be in teas will actually go to Farmer Casey's garden area that I'll be building here. This I'm excited about. This is the second year now. These are goji berries. These are Korean goji berries, and I picked this variety because of climate. Now, of course, Korea is in generally a lot more humid than here. However, it's dry and sunny, and I don't know. Anyways, these I got from Papa Pepper as well, and his climate works for us as well for the most part, besides being wetter. So I'm excited. Hopefully, we'll get some goji berries, and those are really exciting. So those are popping up. We did show the Egyptian walking onions, but in lieu of just walking down here, get all the tomatoes will be on here and all throughout. These are really cool. I talked about these a little bit. Great plant. They'll just keep popping up year after year, and they will actually spread and take over if I let them. This is a grapevine that I have not pruned that I need to do ASAP. This is muscadine grapes. So Casey eats all these off before we get anything with them. And then it looks like carrots are volunteering, popping up. There's some garlic in here. Nikki has made a bed for herself, so there's that. And then snake gourd, I plant one snake gourd plant, and that creates like a 20-foot vine that just kind of covers everything. So there's a lot behind me. I'm not showing right now because it needs to be cleaned up, but there will be other plants in the area back there. The lawn is greening up, and you may say, why do you keep a lawn? That's a waste of space and water if you're trying to do so much with the garden. No, actually, this creates a lot of enjoyment for the family, for the animals and dogs and things, as well as this and the clippings from it add a ton of nitrogen to my compost, as well as those greens or browns that you need in there. So those actually, this helps the compost. The birds love it. It serves its purpose as well. Over here, hibiscus trees. So we get a lot of hibiscus flowers off those. The lamb's ear is in here. Yarrow grows in here, as well as a couple other beneficial plants. So those will all come back. Right over here, we got more garlic popping up. Looks good. And a whole lot of mess. But just wanted to show I am getting the water system hooked up back here. Now this is off our roof that has shingles, and so shingles can carry carcinogens, so I don't collect this water to drink. I guess it could be filtered and all if we had to, but this one I use to water plants, primarily ones we don't eat, like the tree back here, because I'm not going to be eating anything off that, or the lawn. And then behind me here we got our fire pit, shed, bikes I'm going to be working on, as well as a possible secret project that I may disclose, I'm not sure later, but I'm not showing all that. And then back behind me as well is where Farmer Casey's garden and some other things are going, but we're not showing that. So I'm about ready to hop off here. I'm going to set my camera back up and check chat and then say goodbye to everyone. Nikki wants to get at these other birds so bad, but they will just beat her up. And I mentioned several times I have been doing everything I can to reintroduce her to the flock, including stuff like this, so they can see each other, and that's supposed to help. However, whenever I do kind of let them go back and mingle, even when the whole yard's open, hey, we got someone new in here. Hey, Shiloh, son of Battle. Good morning. Your homestead looks wonderful. Which state are y'all in? Looks to be a little more spring than Colorado. Oh, yes, Yahweh bless. Living that Yah life. Yep. That is awesome. We're in New Mexico. We're just below you. So, yep, a little bit more spring. I'm actually here in the just outside of central New Mexico, right outside the city. And if you know anything about New Mexico, you probably know right where I'm at. But yeah, beautiful. A little bit more spring. And we always have our last frost comes right around tax day. So I do always want to be careful with that. This year I'm focusing more on getting those cold weather plants in and out quicker because they die fast where we are at. So we're sitting at about 5,500 feet up in the high desert and the mesa here. So we have extreme temperature changes throughout the year from below 0 to over 100. So there's a lot of different battles. We have extreme wind out here on the mesa and sandstorms and other things like that. So I'm learning how to contend with all of that, as well as excited to learn how to contend with other things. So anyways, great to see you. Thanks for hopping in. Always exciting to see new people in here, and thank you for watching. So Solo's going to pick a fight with Nikki. Nope. She says, nope, not now. She'll actually fight back. They're not really fighting. They just play. Solo's part of her new flock now. But yeah, we enjoy our little homestead here. So we're on just under a quarter acre urban lot that I am maximizing, and our family is maximizing to its potential to live a healthier life, the way God intended, I believe. And so um, we're trying to, I'm under no illusions of what I can and cannot do here on the urban plot. So we are um, learning skills. This is my version of doing the things to learn how red winter wheat grows, how to raise chickens and eggs and other animals and grow plants and all those things you need to do. So this is my version of doing things and being faithful with the little until the Lord um, blesses us with some land and we can do more. So that's the goal. Let's see, Matt, you are a great example of how much can be done in a small place. I hope so. I try. You can always do things no matter where you're at. I'm extremely blessed where we're at here. I never thought we'd be in this spot. So, God is good. And I know if I'm faithful with that, He will grant us more. So that's awesome. We're just over state line from y'all, also at 5,500 feet. Okay, so yeah, your weather's probably pretty close, just a little bit more north. Love what I'm doing. Hey, it's great to see you. Well, thank you. And subscribe if you like it so we can chat more, hopefully. I don't know if you have a channel or not. Looks like you got a thumbnail, so you might. If so, I'm going to join and check out a little bit of what you got going. It's always great to see people like-minded, fairly in the general area or fairly close as well. That's always a blessing. So that's awesome. I had a verse I wanted to end today's stream on, actually. So I of course, always like to incorporate verses. I always offer up prayer requests if anyone ever needs. Just email me at graftedbranchhomestead.com at gmail.com. And then, of course, my Sunday streams, I really like to flood that with a little bit of the Word of God because it is oh so important and, under siege nowadays. So I left that little verse I'd written down inside. She's too much fun. So hit that like button. Yep, CDB is reminding everyone. I'm going to set my camera up here real quick. I'm going to run in and grab that verse because I'd really like to end on that. And I don't have as much memorized as I'd like. One moment. Fight me. Leave her alone. All right. So lately, I don't know, kind of funny. The Lord works in mysterious ways. But no matter what I read, listen to, or who I talk to, lately, within the last month or so, everything's kind of been coming back to Deuteronomy for some reason. And then when I went about looking for a good verse I wanted to read this morning, besides Lamentations, one you saw in the opening, or of course, like I always like to proclaim. Side note, I'm going to go on a tangent here, but that this is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. And yes, this is the day the Lord has made, and I will rejoice and be glad in it. However, that's not the day I think that necessarily the Bible was talking about. And it's not the day I truly rejoice and am glad in either. Yes, God did make today. However, today can be pretty crappy a lot of times. And I do rejoice and I am glad in it. But the day the Lord made that I truly rejoice and am glad in, or the days He made, are the days where His Son was sent for on this earth, and when He was put to death for us and rose again and defeated death. And so those are the days that the Lord has made that I rejoice and am glad in every day, and I hold strong to. The verse I want to leave everyone at though, and this is just because of the times we live in and everything now, I think is a good one. We got Deuteronomy 31:6. Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you. He will never leave or forsake you. You guys have a good day. Thank you, everyone, for showing up and joining me in some fellowship this morning. I also enjoyed it. So go about today with purpose and try and open your eyes a little more, soften your heart to the things of God. And and my new little catchphrase, I kind of liking more, and I don't mean it in any disrespectful or ways at all or anything, but go out there and live that y'all life, y'all. So most certainly every day, do the things, be strong. We'll see you guys next time.